Hey guys, it's Adessa. I just have a little bit of time to kill and I'm not really doing anything, so I just thought maybe I'll just do a short video about twin flames. Well, this is probably some information that a lot of you are not gonna want to hear because this is kind of controversial, and I kind of want to. I wish that I could put an end to the need for looking at twin flame information online. The reason for that is because a lot of the information online is coming from people who sort of claim that they are experts and they claim to have all this knowledge about twin flames. But in reality, the whole twin flame concept is just a concept. It's a social construct to explain the experience that you're having in a twin flame relationship. And people have this sort of curiosity, and then once they get enchanted by this curiosity, that's all they really care about, and they start to forget about all these other things that are much more important than having in meeting a twin flame. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I did have a mild curiosity for a very short period of time before my spiritual journey. I was a skeptic, even though I was born into a religious, in a little bit of a religious family, but we were also all intuitive and psychics in many levels in my family. So when I got the chance to look at twin flames for the first time, I didn't necessarily believe in it. I thought that it was just kind of like hokey pokey. So I didn't, every now once in a while I would, be like, but I didn't put that in my life. I didn't insert that in my life as being something that was important. And I kind of just like swept it under the rug and never really took it seriously. Now my whole spiritual journey began because of a twin flame connection. And even when I did find out and realize he was my twin flame, that he wasn't full of shit, I still kind of, tiptoed around the whole thing because I don't like the negative feedback that a lot of people have about twin flames. Now my situation is very different from a lot of people's, and to be honest and fair with you guys, everybody's situation is going to be different, and that is why I don't want people seeking all this information and using it and applying it to their life, because everybody's situation and their journey is going to be different. The whole list of signs and symptoms is not a catch-all. One thing that I want to stress a lot is that a lot of the signs and symptoms of a twin flame relationship can be applied to simple soulmate or simple relationship in so many ways. So there's a lot of confusion, and people believe, and they make themselves believe that they're in a twin flame relationship when that person may not actually be their twin flame, and they justify their suffering just because that person is their twin flame. Now, remember, I do have a twin flame. I know who he is, and my situation is a little bit different than a lot of people's because he is dead, and my whole story and all that stuff is on a separate blog. So obviously, because I'm alive and he's dead, I have a whole life here, and I have a boyfriend who is a soulmate, and my life is just as good as it can be, even though my twin flame is dead, and I make it work the best way that I can, juggling my spiritual life and my human life together. But a lot of people they're enchanted by the whole twin flame thing, and they get swooped up into these the whole signs and symptoms. And to me, signs and symptoms are really just, it's a crutch. And I feel like if you really need these signs, then it's probably a sign that you're not ready for a twin flame relationship. Now, again, I'm only saying this because, well, I kind of put the whole, twin flame thing to the side, and I didn't really believe in them until I met mine. So it's really complicated, but I want people to realize that you don't really need to have these these people, you don't need anybody to tell you about your twin flame journey. You can figure this out on your own. And honestly, I support everybody's journey. I support everyone's path to a point until it looks like you're suffering needlessly. And then I would just say to a friend that, maybe this isn't something that you should be focusing on right now. And people put this whole like importance of a twin flame so ridiculously high when it's unnecessary. Because all relationships are hard, and all relationships can come with a runner and a chaser and all this, hoopla and stuff. But it really, really irritates me when I see these people talk about twin flames when it's really just a social construct which cannot be backed by science. There's no scientific evidence of twin flames because it is, again, a spiritual social construct. So you don't need to have a twin flame in your life. You don't need to investigate in twin flames, and you don't necessarily need to have all the answers, because it's sort of like you're going through life with all the answers to a test, and you're not learning anything by holding on to these cheat sheets. It makes life a little bit dull. If you know what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to belittle anybody or, talk down to anybody. I'm just trying to put in a little bit of logic here that these signs and symptoms are not necessary. And really, in all honesty, if you need them to a point that you are looking these things up every single day, then, and I know I've said this already, you need psychological help. And I know how it sounds, but it's just logic. I'm just trying to insert logic, and it's really up to you whether or not you want to listen to what I'm saying or believe what I'm saying. But I just hope that you actually listen and that you try to understand that the whole twin flame concept is a personal journey, and everyone's journey is going to be different. Signs, symptoms, whatever, are just a crutch, and you don't need them. You really don't need them. You have to have faith within. You have to look within. All you need is it's in here. It's all in here within you. You can't go to others for information like this. This is a very personal journey. So all of this really should start with you. And I know it's very tempting to dive into this thing without, with your blinders on, with rose-colored lenses, but don't do it, because especially if you're not ready, you're going down a very slippery slope to just unnecessary suffering. So I hope this was a little bit helpful for you, and you just be careful looking at these signs, and be careful listening to information from other people, because the information that people put out there is really their personal experience, or whatever that they possibly could just taking this shit out of their ass. To me, it looks like they're taking it out of their ass and they're just serving it on a silver platter. But again, that's just my opinion. But yeah,